In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to add a link on your table in React so that when you click on that link, it takes you to the details page of that record. So this is the inventory management system that we are currently working on. It's not ready yet, but in this channel, it will be ready in a couple of weeks. So please subscribe so that you don't miss any updates. Now, this is the application we are going to be using. So I'm going to be adding a link right here. And I'm going to be adding a routing so that when you click on that link, it will route you to the details page of the record you selected. So let's go ahead to get started. So this is the application we are going to be using. So you can see that this is the product. This is the page we are currently looking at. So the first thing you want to do is to go to your base component, which is the app.js. And in your app.js, you can see that there is no routing currently. So what we are going to do is to enable routing so that the Angular routing module or the browser router will manage routing across different components of our Power application. So the first thing is to remove this so that I can add router right there. But router requires that you install a module called React Router DOM. So let me open back my terminal and you are going to run the npm command npm install React Router DOM. So this library is going to help you manage routing in your application. And once you have it installed, you want to now go to your base component, and here you want to create the first base component, and that is the browser router. So in the browser router, you want to add another component called routes, or another element called routes. Okay, so in routes, so we have browser router, we have route, and we also have route. So inside the routes, you now want to add routes. So we have routes. So now in route, you want to define your routes, right? So if you look at it, we have products, and we also have a single product. So you have a record of products right here. And when you click on one of these records, it takes you to a single product, all right? So here we want to add a route to, so you specified using path. The path is going to be /product. The element is going to be, first let's add the main route. So we have these products. This is the products, which is this one. So let's add the main route first. And the element for this is going to be products, right? So this is the first route. This is what we already have before. To add the second route, we now specify, in this case, we now have to use product. Although we don't have the element currently, we are going to create it. So let me create a new element here, new file, and I'm going to call it product.js. And it's going to be a functional component, so I enter RFC. And here I want to just log out something in the console.log. Here in product component, so let's just make sure that we get to this component when we start clicking on a link. Okay, so let's go back here. So we have the first one is product, and the second one, this one, is going to be product. So I'm going to simply product, that is this one. Okay, now we want to also pass in a parameter, a URL parameter, and to pass in a parameter, I'm going to use the colon and specify the name of the parameter, which in this case is the product ID, right? Like this. So what it means is that if you go to /product/ the ID of the product, then you can find that component. So let's go try. So you can see currently we go to products, and it doesn't, we have a problem. Okay, our application is not running, so let's start it first. npm run start, and we are going to try to visit. Okay, there is a port in use, so this time it starts running. Let's see. So we have products, as you can see. I'm going to open my console and let's try to visit /product, and let's try an ID and see if we get there. So I'm going to open my console and then leave it in console. Let's try to put a random URL /product/2 maybe, or /3, and it doesn't work so far. So let's go check. So we have /product/id. So for now, it doesn't work because in the product component, we need to retrieve the URL parameter that was sent, okay? So I'm going to first save everything. So let's try, I think it should work. Okay, yeah, so you can see here in product components. So what we want to do now is to retrieve the URL parameter that was sent across and then display it in the console. So what I'm going to do is to go to the product component. Let's retrieve the URL parameter first. And to retrieve the URL parameter, you are going to use a hook called the useParam. So I'm going to create const product ID is coming from useParam. And at this point, product ID is the URL parameter available in the URL. So I'm going to log it out to the console. So I'm going to say console.log and then say the parameter is, and I'm going to just say plus product ID, and let's try to see if we get it. So let's go back. So you can see the parameter is 3. Let's try to pass another one and see what we have. So 5, and you can see the parameter is 5. Okay, that's fine. But this is not what we want to do. What we want to do is actually to click a link here, and then it takes us to that page. And possibly using that product ID, we retrieve the product from the database and possibly display it on a form. Okay, so what we are going to do is to go to this table and make these items to become link. So I'm going back to the product component. So I'm going back to the product component and I'm going to the table. Now the product title, I want it to be a link. For it to be a link, you are going to use the link component. So I'm going to say link. Okay, so link/link is going to make that item a link. So I'm going to just move it here. If I save everything and I go back, you see it's a link right now, but it actually does not lead to anywhere. So to make it link to a component, you want to specify the component using the to props. So it's going to be to is equal to, and then you want to specify the location, and that should be the URL you want to link to. So I'm going to use literal here, and I'm going to specify that I want to go to /product. Actually, is /product, and now I'm going to specify the product ID that is coming from the current record. So I'm going to use $, and I'm going to specify product.id. Okay. So this is the product.id for the current product, that the link that contains the link that was clicked. Okay, so if I save everything now, if I go back to the page and I click, it goes to the product page with the parameter 2. So we want to now use the parameter to fetch the data and actually display it. So let's click, it goes here with parameter 3. And the same thing for every other one, parameter 4. So the product component is actually receiving the parameter coming from the main component or the product list. So what I'm going to do now is to use the useEffect hook to fetch this product in the product page. So here I'm going to use the useEffect hook to fetch this product and then display it. Well, the easy thing to do is to go to I'm going to simply copy an existing useEffect hook, and I'm going to simply use it here. Now this useEffect hook ensures that this API fetch request is performed when this component loads for the first time. And in this case, I'm going to be loading the single product by the ID from /product/ID. So I'm going to again use the string literal, and I'm going to specify it here as well. I'm going to say /, and now I have the product ID and I can simply use it, product ID. Okay, now what I'm going to do is to console log what is returned in the console. So I'm going to say console.log, and I'm going to specify the response.data. because this is the data that was received. So I'm going to just save everything. We have a problem. Use effect is not defined. I think use effect is coming from React. So let me see. So use effect is coming from React. So let's just import it as well. So it's going to be use effect. And also we need to bring in Axios from Axios. So it's import Axios from Axios. And I'm going to save everything. Now there is no error. And I will go back here. Let's go back to the product list. Now, when we click on this link, it's going to take us to the product components, this time with the product displayed on the console, because we want, so we have a problem. We have CORS policy. So I'm going to go to the Spring Boot application and allow cross origin on that route. So this is the application. I'm going to go to the controller. So the main Java is going to be product controller right here, and I'm going to allow cross origin on and it's allowed, right? This is okay. I need to so we have a problem. So it's not product slash, it's product, right? It's single product slash the product ID. So let's save everything and let's go back to C. So I'm going to go back to the product list. And right here in the product list, I'm going to click on one of the products, and you see it displays the product details right here. And if you go back, I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to go back here, and you can see it displays. Okay, so you can see that it displays the product right here. You can figure out why it displays it 2 times in the next tutorial. In the next part, we now think about how to actually display the form containing the product in this page. So basically, if you click on this place, it displays you the edit, but now we don't have the details. So here, when you click on this place, we want to display the details of the product in this page. Please subscribe so that you don't miss the next lesson. I would also like to remind you to like this video. If you have any challenges with my tutorials or you want something you need me to clarify, please leave me a comment in the comment box below this video. I'll stop here, and I remain Kindson the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.